for post-match chat here and analysis with two of the Tones boys. On my left here is the big man from Manor Hamilton, Barry McNulty. Barry, you're very welcome to the booth. And of course Ronan Orford from San Fran. Starting with you, Barry, tough game out there today. I know you're only a recent addition to the Tones ranks. How did you find the 13-a-side, and how did you find the game today? It wasn't that very hot anyway.
No, look at conditions were nice now. We can't complain compared to 2 weeks ago. Now it was a lot cooler. Yeah, look, 13-a-side, a lot of room there. I suppose we used the room very effectively in the first 10-15 minutes, and maybe just kind of got a wee bit confident with the lead we put up and sat back. So we'll be a wee bit disappointed with that we didn't kick on a bit more when we put ourselves into that driving seat. But no, look at fairly positive. You know, we kept the thing ticking over, so we're quite happy.
Good stuff. And how do you I don't know if you've played much 13-a-side at home, but you know, playing it, obviously the space, you know, there's an awful lot more space on the field. It's quicker, things happen a lot faster.
Yeah, look, it's very different to playing club football or county football at home. You know, you don't have mass defences, or you have no slow attacks really breaking things down. Like, you know, if you're getting the ball around there in the middle, you know, you need to be looking up and kicking it in straight away. Or if you beat a man, there's overlaps creating straight away. Like, you know, if you take on your man, create that bit of space. You know, there's a lot of runners coming through then, and you can get goals off it. Like, goals is very important in this kind of game. Absolutely,
goals win games, as they say. Ronan, it's great to have you, and I know you're looking forward. Obviously, this game was important today, but looking in the more immediate future, the trip home tomorrow evening with the rest of the North American lads, it's going to be a great trip.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be a great experience playing in Limerick on Tuesday in a practice game, and then playing in Abbottstown on Friday. Just something that you dream of as a kid, especially being as an American kid, never having the opportunity, or you never really think you have a chance to. And now there's an opportunity to play in Croke Park, which would be an unbelievable experience.
Absolutely, and I've been mentioning to the viewers at home all day, you know, the fact that you know, there's a huge carrot there for you guys in that semi-final on Friday evening in Abbottstown. You know, the victory, well, obviously to get to a final, but a final in Croke Park on the day of an All-Ireland semi-final, it's a huge prize.
Yeah, it would really be unbelievable. I mean, it's something, as I said, you dream of as a kid, and to have the opportunity to play, and just to play in Abbottstown is going to be a great experience. The facilities there will be unbelievable, and in Limerick as well. But just as a team, for this to be starting as a first USGAA team to go back as an All-American born, it's just a great experience and privilege. And I know all the boys are taking a lot of pride in putting that jersey on, and hopefully we can represent well when we go back.
I'm sure you will, no doubt about it. Barry, back to you. Unfortunate news broke there in the last couple of days. Andy Moran deciding to step down from management in Leitrim. He's done a great job over the last 2 or 3 years. You know, gaining promotion from Division 4 was huge this year for you, but he'd be a big loss.
Look, it's very hard to describe how disappointed you are. Like Andy, I've utmost respect from, like, a super manager, a man that's really done a lot for Leitrim football in the last 3 years, and I think the progress is finally being seen now. I know it took a year or two to get us out of Division 4, like we were thereabouts, but this year we got across the line, like, and huge progress has been made, like, and his heart was in it, like, you know, an outside man coming in, he took under 20s as well this year, and he made great progress with them, and he, like, all about the development of the youths and bringing us all on, like, and look at a really top class manager, and best of luck to him in the future wherever he goes.
You're back now in Division 3 this year.
Yeah, we're back up in Division 3 this year now. So
that was a great achievement. It's a pity that he didn't stay a year or two more, because he had a fantastic backroom team behind him. He had Mickey Graham, and he had a lot of very experienced people, but they brought you on a long way. So.
Oh yeah, look, at a huge way. Like, you know, he had a great backroom team in behind him with Mickey. Like, Mickey's great experience there. Won an Ulster Championship at Cavan when there wasn't much hope given to them, and then you have Luke Bree there from Sligo. Like, he brought Summerhill College from Sligo there, brought them to an All-Ireland final. Like, for Sligo football, that's huge as well. And Barry McQueenie, a man from home as well, like there as well, in strength and conditioning. Like, it was a lot of stuff maybe that wasn't seen in Leitrim football for years, and Andy came in with his 3 years and got the stuff done. And I suppose we were that far behind. It took till the third year to see the progress, but look, I can't say enough about him, and he was a really good manager, and we wish him all the best.
Hopefully someone else will go on to carry it on, that great work that he has done. If Quinn wouldn't be a very great fan of his now, because he'd be a Roscommon Mayo rival there, right on the border. But anyway.
I always introduce Andy as a man from Ballahadreen, County Roscommon. But anyways, we'll agree to disagree on that one. Barry, as a final footnote, I'd be interested to get your thoughts. the North American lads going home. What sort of advice, as a county player playing county football at home, what sort of advice would you give these lads going out facing London in a semi-final next Friday evening in Dublin?
I suppose, like, no fear is the big thing. Like, often I've seen that, like, maybe when we got to our Division 4 final this year, you can get a wee bit caught up in the moment, like, you know, and hopefully you get on to get to Croke Park, and that's an unbelievable experience. It was my first time this year, you know, experiencing that as well. But it's so hard. Like, you're growing up there, and that's all you want to do is play in Croke Park as a child. But it's easy for me to say it here. Like, you can only experience it yourself. You can't get caught up in the moment and getting caught up in what's going on around you. Like, you have to just focus on the job at hand and maybe take it all in after the game. But look, enjoy every moment of it, play your heart out, and I've no doubt you'll do the job.
And drink
sure.
Yeah, definitely after, but nothing before. You know?
Oh no, a drink ban for the week now.
Drink ban now.
Does Mr. Quinn have to go on a drink ban as well for the weekend, Mary? Is it a straight across the board drink ban?
That's up to him to decide if he can hold out for the week, you know.
I'm
for the day, maybe.
I'm the mascot, so I have to be able to walk straight. So, they're great words of advice, Barry. And, as you echo your thoughts, hopefully wishing them the boys the best of luck. I mean, it will be absolutely fantastic to see them take the field in Croke Park next Sunday. And what a stage to be able to showcase your talents on. So, hopefully, you'll do the business, and the very, very best of luck, Ronan. Barry, pleasure to have you up here in the booth. Won't be the last time. And Nicky, anything else to say at the end of this wonderful little chat?
Good luck to you guys, and hope when you do win on Sunday in Croke Park, I hope Galway win as well, and I hope you have a great enjoyment, because it's an excellent idea, and fair play to you. And to Mary, the greatest GA person here in Chicago, I hope she enjoys the trip.
Absolutely.
And to Barry,
the finest
man that ever come out of Leitrim.
Absolutely. Barry and Ronan, thanks a million for joining us here in the booth, and the very best of luck with the championship, Barry. Hope you enjoy Chicago this year. I know you will. It'll be a fun time for you, so enjoy it, and we'll talk to you next week.
Cheers, boys.
Great to have you, lads.
Keep the commentary PG there, Quinn. We'll see you later, Nicky. See you.
All right.
Yeah, good man, Ronan. That's Ronan Orford there, and a big shout out to his parents back home in San Fran, and we'll see you at home next week.
And
with the
there's
help
the
of God.
local strip bar wherever that is.
The local strip bar is right. As
missed the first score there, I think.
we did. We were talking too much. Yeah, as the McBrides go into a 1 point lead here in this second senior championship match here in Gaelic Park in Chicago, as the McBrides take a 1 point lead, and the Pearses now defending at the moment as the McBrides go on the attack. So then, McBride's over there, that far side of the field. They look to build from deep here. And Ryan O'Donoghue, the man from Belmullet in Mayo, kicks it in high and out to the right and wide. Ryan O'Donoghue, Nicky, a big addition to this McBride's team.
He is, but Quinn, you've called out a lot of players for kicks like that. That was not very good.
That was not good. But he can only improve, as the man says. So the McBrides go on the defensive now as the Pearses come on the attack, but that attack breaks down. Ball is turned over there by the McBrides in the centre of the field, and they come out of attack there with Dean Robertson. Robertson now, down it comes along this side of the field to Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue, the Mayo footballer, gives a nice crossfield ball there, and eventually the Pearses defence closes, and the McBride's man is slow to get up there, Luke O'Donoghue, as the Pearses then through Kieran O'Mahony go on the attack. O'Mahony now gets it off there to Killian Frawley. Frawley now right footed, but that's a poor effort from the number 9.
Another poor effort by the Pearses there, up one. The McBride's one in and the Pearses the other. That's two bad wides.
Two poor wides is right, and Pearses will be desperately looking for a victory in today's championship match, because they've lost 2 games, I think.
One win against the Parnells the last time.
As the McBrides now come on the attack there, Pádraig Cunningham streaking through this defence, gets onto the left foot. Oh, and it's driven in again. Oh, the rebound, and a great piece of defending there by the Pearses defence. Goalkeeper, everything. Jack McCallan made a great save there, as it looked like a certain goal, and the Pearses now rapidly come out of defence and over there that ball is sent in and sent out to the right, and it's another poor wide, Nicky, there.
It's 3 poor wides, 2 from the Pierces. This is going to be a very close game. The Pierces probably need the game more than the McBrides do, but
quick kick out is taken over the side of the field. Michael Malloy now is faced up there by Sean Hannafin. Malloy looks for help and gets it as the ball is fed down this side to Pádraig Cunningham once again. Found his way through on goal there a few minutes ago. Gets it off to Dean Robertson. Robertson outside. It goes to Luke O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue now looking for support and finds it in the shape of his midfielder. And that ball is kicked in and kicked straight over the bar there by Conor Corbett. The number 9 for McBride's. Left footed, straight in and over the bar. 2 points to no score, Nicky.
yeah, that's a very good score there. Left footed over the bar by Corbett. Corbett is the. We don't get much information here. I think Corbett is the man from Cork, is he?
Yes, he is. Indeed, he is
County
the man from the
footballer
Rebels.
Cork.
Fine
Excellent
footballer.
score there. He showed his class.
There's the free given there to the Pierces man, deemed to be fouled over there on that far side of the field, and Sean Hannafin brings the ball out of defence, and the Pierces now inject a piece of pace into it, and here comes Frawley again. Frawley, who had that poor wide there a minute ago, gets it off, and this time that ball is kicked in, but it goes out to the right and wide yet again by Brian Murphy. The Pierces will be disappointed with that as well, as
3 or 4 wides between the two teams there, which is
yeah.
early in the game though.
Paul Higgins with the quick kick out. Great character in goal for the McBrides. Has a pub on the north side of Chicago. We'll have to go up there, Nicky.
Absolutely, when all this mayhem is over, we'll have to take a trip.
We'll have to go to Higgins' watering hole and see what.
Maisie O'Brien's, I think it's called, is it?
I think so. Yeah, we'll have to go up and check out
Probably got
Maisie.
that wrong too, but anyway.
We'll have to go up and check out Maisie and see what she's made out of. As the McBrides now, through Dean Robertson, work that ball out of defence. Robertson now over there the far side of the field with those yellow boots and that long stride, gets the pass away. It eventually comes over to Pádraig Cunningham. Cunningham with that little dinky ball over the top. That's a lovely pass, but the McBrides boys just got Ryan O'Donoghue got the wires crossed there for a second, tried to offload the ball at pace but just didn't work out. But they have the ball back now again, and it's Pádraig Cunningham once again going through the centre of this defence, but great defending there back.
Over there by there. Here's this.
Dara McElentry. I'll have to check that name out for you again, but anyways, an easier name to pronounce is Brian Murphy. A lot more straightforward. He gets the ball away there to Eamon Wallace. Wallace now is turned over though. Well, this McBride's defence is playing really well. They're turning over the Pierces time and time again, as Jack Flynn over there gets the ball, the number 8 gets the ball into Ryan O'Donoghue, back onto that right foot. O'Donoghue from about 40 yards out, in and out to the right, and unusually for Ryan O'Donoghue, his radar off today.
Off a bit today. Jack Flynn, that man is from Athenry, right, Jack?
Yeah, I got my wires crossed there last week. I'll have to apologise to all the Curtins and all the relations back
all
there.
All the Flynns.
And all the Flynns is right. In fact, Jack is from Ratoath in County Meath, and I want to say hello to all his family. I know they're all listening in on the live stream at home in Meath, so a big shout out to his mum and dad.
They wrote you an essay there today.
Yeah, I got a lovely message there delivered to me, hand delivered there from Kerry Hoban, and Kerry, of course, married to
Mr. Hoban.
To Mr. Hoban, and his Jack's great granduncle John Hoban, originally from Castlebar. He played in the inaugural team for the McBrides back in 1956. So there's a lot of history to the Flynn family, and a lot of history to the Flynn and Hoban families with the McBrides. And they have, as that ball goes in and over the bar, that's a great score for the Pierces, and it makes it 2 points to 1. But a lot of history there with the Hobans and the and the Flynns with the McBrides. So Jack Flynn comes from pedigree, and certainly shown in a very
positive. County footballer from Meath, is he?
He is indeed, and coming from Ratoath, a good football club as well, and very close to Fairy House Racecourse, of course, where I spent many a unprofitable day.
Not as a jockey, I would think.
So, but he, of course, was part of the winning Tailteann Cup Meath team last year. So I want to just once again give a quick shout out to all his family back home, all the Flynns back there in Ratoath and County Meath, and just to tell you that Jack is blossoming out here and doing really well for himself. I know I'm going to see you all in a couple of weeks' time. I think you're planning a trip out here to Chicago, so I'm looking forward to meeting all the Flynn family from Ratoath and County Meath. So there, I corrected myself. I stand corrected, but it's always a pleasure to get lovely messages like that from people back home. Always nice to know that you're listening in and enjoying the commentary here from the two of us. As the Pearses come on the attack once again, and this ball is kicked in, but Paul Higgins in the goal for McBride's is going to get that support kick in from the Pearses number 7 there, Cathal O'Biugly, and the McBride's now come away with the ball once again as they streak out of defence. Lots of room appearing in that Pearses defence, and room for this McBride's attack to run into as that ball is kicked in. And it's kicked over the bar. That's a good score there from Conor Corbett, the number 9 for the McBrides, the man from Cork. Extends the McBride's lead out to 4 points to 1, a 3-point lead.
The county players seem to have made a big difference here. Ryan O'Donoghue scored a great score there a minute ago. So
yeah,
they're really showing up when the pressure is on.
Absolutely. That's why they're here, for their class. And certainly they're showing that at the moment, all these county lads, as the Pearses come on the look again. Sean Hannafin gets inside his marker, Micheál Malloy, and that's a lovely score from Hannafin. Beautiful score from the number 12 off the right foot. Curled it in beautifully inside that right hand upright as Paul Higgins endeavours to take the kick out quickly and does, and finds its way over there to David Hyland. Hyland back in his old full back line, looking to open that Pearse's defence with a long pass, but decides against it, and he goes back to Ross Mahan. Mahan gives it out over there. Owen McCaig involved, and he picks out his number 6, Conor Swan. Swan now gets the ball away, and the fullback Ross Mahan takes it on and transfers it to Cathal O'Connor. Cathal O'Connor to Ryan O'Donoghue. Jinks inside, breaks 2 tackles, gives a lovely pass across, and here comes the number 7, surely in the back of the net. It's a goal for Pádraig Cunningham, and Nicky, he stole in like a ghost in the back of that Pearse's defence.
Absolutely, he's a big man, but he stole a great setup. Great. I think Swan was the goalkeeper from last week, was he? Is he playing in is it the same Swan, or is...
No, this Conor Swan has played outfield for the McBrides. That's a different man you're thinking of.
Different man, but that was a great setup, a great goal there by the goalie man, of course, but I want to be throwing that out there. Yeah,
another ex-FAI footballer for Galway United, Paul Cunningham, stole inside the defence, and here comes another Leitrim man, and Colm Riley, and that ball goes in, and it's gone over the bar. Took a minute for the umpire to reach for the flag, but it's a great score, and it keeps
score by the Leitrim, yeah.
Keeps the Pearses in it, as they say. 1-4 is 7 to 3 points, 4 points the difference, as Paul Higgins in the goals for McBride's tries to pick out a man, and he goes short over this side of the field to Michael Malloy. Malloy with that ginger head, the fair hair, he gives it back to his centre back there, David Hyland. Hyland now back in his full back line, trying to break out and break through the challenge there of and that's another pull back there by the Pearses man, Kieran O'Mahony, and Martin Delaney is having a quick word with Kieran O'Mahony, but here comes Corbett once again, the Cork man, streaking down the middle of the field like a greyhound. Here he goes then, and he gives the ball off there to O'Connor. Oh, it's blocked on the line to O'Donoghue, surely it's blocked again, and it finds the way back into the back of the net. What a goal! The man from Balmullet, he got a second bite of the cherry, Nicky, and he made it count.
It was an excellent save there by the goalkeeper, but Donoghue kept going, and he ended up scoring a great goal.
It was a great score by Jack McCallan.
McCallan scored a goal, but Donoghue missed the
Donoghue
swipe at it.
He missed the first one, but he didn't miss the second one. As a second goal, and that's going to be a big score for McBride's, you'd think. 2 goals and 4, 10 points to 3 points. And referee Martin Delaney going in, having a word with his umpire, and seems to be happy enough to let the goal stand. So on we go, 10 points to 3. And even at this early stage now, the Pearses are under pressure as Sean Hannafin gets possession there around the middle of the field. He gives it off to his number 10, Kieran O'Mahony. O'Mahony lays it off to Wallace. Wallace now gives it out this side of the field to Frawley, the number 9. up along this side of the field, faced up by Michael Malloy. Cuts inside, does really well, gets it onto the right, and this time, like the last time, it goes out to the right and wide, and these are bad wides, Nicky.
Very bad wides. Both teams had them, but the Pierces have had 2 or 3 bad wides there in the last 5 minutes, and they're 4 points down.
Yeah.
They're actually, so I mean, they need to keep into this game because
the
McBrides have an eye for goal today.
Yeah, and they seem to be just getting space there every time they go forward. There seems to be consternation in that Pierce's defence, and a lot of it is caused by this man on the ball. O'Donoghue back to O'Connor. Surely another chance here. Oh, it's blocked out, and it's kicked wide. It's gone wide.
A bad wide. A lot of bad misses on both sides here, but at least the McBrides have the goals to count. So.
Yeah, that was Luke O'Donoghue. In fact, I thought it was Cathal O'Connor. It wasn't. Luke O'Donoghue getting that lovely little pop pass from Ryan O'Donoghue, but Ryan O'Donoghue is causing all sorts of panic in that Pierce's defence when he gets the ball.
He's definitely improved his play from last week. He's been really sharp today.
Yeah, hard to blame him, I suppose, last week as Colm O'Reilly kicks that ball in, and that
he was
ball
like Joe
is
Biden.
gone.
He was he had what do you call that? He was too long on the plane.
Oh yeah, he was jet-lagged.
Jet-lagged.
He was slightly jet-lagged, is right, like our Joe, poor old Joe. As the McBrides, and there's the bowled Joe Morrissey underneath me. I know the Morrisseys are having a big reunion back there in their hometown back in Galway in a couple of weeks' time, and Joe and Kathy, I know, are travelling back for it, as Ryan O'Donoghue, soccer style, lovely lay-off pass there over the far side of the field. He gets the ball back. O'Donoghue now gets it onto that left foot. Back it goes onto his right. Left or right, it doesn't matter. It's straight in and straight over the bar from the man from Belmullet. A great score once again.
Excellent score there. They're just pulling away.
They are just putting. They seem to have that little bit of class up front, and the Pierces just at the moment don't be able to live with them. But the Morrisseys are having that reunion in a Haskra. So big shout out to all the Morrissey clan. I know there's going to be a couple of hundred of them at it. So they've had these reunions over the last number of years, and they've always been a massive success. So all the best of luck to the Morrisseys on their reunion, and hopefully you'll get nice weather back there in the Haskra, and hopefully it'll be a great weekend. I know John Conroy and Carmel are going back for that particular reunion, and Joe and Kathy, as I said, and I'm not sure if Joe Jr. is going to go back with his wife and kids and all the other kids, but we'll see anyway. Teresa Broderick, of course, another cousin, and I'm sure the Brodericks are going to be there as well. So all the very best to all the Morrissey clan, and a big shout out to John Conroy and Joe Conroy's mother Kitty back there in Tulskin, Roscommon, next door neighbour of my own, as the ball is sent in and sent over the bar there by the Pierces, and they pull a point back there, and attention being called here for one of the Pierce's lads. I think it might be Eamon Wallace who's down on his hunkers, or maybe not. In fact, it's Colm Riley, the man from Leitrim, that was feeling the effects of a challenge there. But Paul Higgins now in goal for the McBrides is getting ready to kick this ball out. 4 points to 2 goals and 5, 11 points to 4, 7-point lead, as Paul Higgins now might be forced to go along here. He is. Out it goes towards the midfield, and a great catch there by the McBrides man, and this set off again, and here comes the man from Ratoath, Jack Flynn. Flynn hauled to the ground there and got a nasty bump on the head as he went down, and again one of those sort of rugby challenges, and I think it might have been Cathal O'Beagley, the guilty party here, the number 7, as Jack Flynn was flying through there. He just hauled him down to the ground, and I think his head hit the ground first, and that's the issue. So hopefully
that should be a black card. No, is it?
Yeah, I mean it's an intentional
don't use
pull
the black
down.
card too often. So
no, it was used in the last game late on, but an intentional pull down. I mean that's what the black card was invented for, and thankfully Jack Flynn is up on his feet and feeling no ill effects from that hefty challenge, and it's resulting free is going to be taken then, dead straight in front of the goals, and surely this is going to be meat and drink to the man from Belmullet.
They should push it out to 8 points, which is a fair score with about 18 minutes gone in the first half.
Yeah, the
McBrides have been very impressive today, actually.
Yeah, they've been very efficient. Now they've had a few wides, all right, but for the most part they've been converting a lot of their chances. So Ryan O'Donoghue, the man from the west coast of Ireland, makes absolutely no mistake in and over the bar. And I was chatting, Ryan and his two buddies, Owen McLaughlin and Paul Towey, made the journey out Nicky last week. Two good characters, Owen McLaughlin especially. Never a dull moment with that man.
For sure, yes.
So the McBrides reset and go back into defence as the Pearses now build with Sean Hannafin. Hannafin with Eamon Wallace on his shoulder. Wallace, the number 5, takes it at speed, gives it a lovely pass in, and here they come. But there's another pull back again on Frawley, but it makes no odds.
Advantage.
He played the advantage rule there, and it's gone in and gone over the bar. It's a good score from the midfielder there for the Pearses. 2 goals and 6 points to 5 points, a 7-point lead. 12 points to 5 as the McBrides there. Oh, that's another challenge, and Martin Delaney says get up, no foul, as the Pearses get possession and get it out here to Sean Hannafin. Hannafin onto that right foot, and it's gone up high, but is it the legs? No. Paul Higgins decides to punch, and it's a great punch, and he gets it out to his full back Ross Mahan. Mahan now gives it off to his corner back, and eventually it comes out this side of the field now to Michael Malloy. Malloy now, that fair hair, decides to hug the sideline and run Sean Hannafin, and Malloy gets past him, and Hannafin drags him back, and Martin Delaney decides it's a free down to the McBrides. So over here, the man from Cork, it's Conor Corbett, the number 9, ball in hand, looks down in front of him and waits for attention to be given to the McBrides man over there on that far side. I think it might be Conor Swan, the man that was injured, as Conor Corbett now takes the free quickly to Swan, gets the ball back to Corbett. He's fronted up there by Frawley, and here comes the flying corner back, Dean Robertson. Robertson in long to Donoghue. Back it goes again to Jack Flynn from Ratoath onto the right. Can it curl enough? No, it don't, and it won't, and it's gone out for a 50 actually. The umpire down there at the fair goal signals a 50, and Martin Delaney agrees, and Ryan O'Donoghue will get the chance to kick his first 50, Nicky.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a great free taker, so he should be able to pop this over the bar. Especially that it's not in Crow Park.
Yeah. Quickly taken though. It goes to Corbett. Corbett back to Donoghue. Donoghue back to Corbett again. He done well. Right footed, and this time the man from Cork makes absolutely no mistake. Nice interplay there between O'Donoghue and Corbett.
Corbett has been O'Donoghue has been impressive, but Corbett has been very good at midfield.
Very good is right. Great man to have in the middle of the field. Great target man.
Big man as well, so he's...
Yeah, good pair of hands on him. As the ball is kicked out short there, and Killian Frawley gets possession of it over there on the far side of the field. And they build from deep here, the Pearses, as Eamon Wallace gets possession, crosses the halfway line, goes deep with a long ball, but that's aimless, and it's gone out over the head of Kieran O'Mahony and out behind and wide as Paul Higgins puts the ball down quick and gets on with it quickly and takes the fast kick out, and Ewan McCaig takes it out of defence and gives it to his number 12 there, Luke O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue now touching the touchline, and the linesman decides it's a line ball to the Pádraig Pearses. So it's been a tough opening quarter of an hour or so for the Pearses. They trail by 13 points to 5. It's an 8-point deficit, and that's a big lead at this stage of a game, but the Pearses will hang in there. They're a tough team, and they'll keep fighting as they...
22 minutes gone, so they need to start tagging on a score or two.
Yeah, but that's another one kicked into the goalkeeper's hands, and it's these misses are mounting up as Jack Flynn from Ratoath in County Meath, with all his family watching in. Hope you're enjoying this game, entertaining game of football. And the big man, number 8, is giving a great account of himself around the middle of the field for the McBrides. Grandfather on the inaugural McBrides team back in 1956. So he comes from a great pedigree as the McBrides come in search of another point. And Ryan O'Donoghue, he's like the conductor of an orchestra out there with his little stick. Gives the ball off to Corbett. Himself and Corbett seems to have struck up a great relationship there in that McBride's attack. Gives it back to Conor Swan. Swan pops it inside to the number 7 Cunningham. Cunningham though off his left foot under pressure from Eamon Wallace, and that ball goes way out to the left and wide.
Another bad wide there, but the McBrides they're looking good, and they're 7 points ahead.
8 points. 13 points to 5, 2-7. And kick out is taken, and Michael Malloy, a judge to be holding on to Sean Hannafin there. He gets it off to Killian Frawley. Frawley now the number 9, faced by Michael Malloy. Shoulder there, but that's a judge to be a foul, says the referee. And a frontal charge there by the big number 12 for the Pearses. And it's going to be a free down to the McBrides. And
as Devlin said, that's a big unit, that fella.
He's a big unit, is right. I wouldn't like to meet him in a Dare Kelly. But to
met him in a dark alley, he mightn't see us. That would be a funny thing.
Yeah. We'd have to put the runners on Nicky that night.
Absolutely.
As the McBrides build once again, Conor Swan takes the ball out of defence, gives it off to his full-back, Ross Mahan. Mahan gives it to Corbett. Corbett to Flynn. Flynn, nice little fisted pass over there the far side to Pádraig Cunningham. Cunningham, the man from Galway, gets it onto that trusty left foot. Is it back again to Dean Robertson? In fact, it's Ross Mahan, the number 3 over there on the far side. Slows the play down, gives it back across to Owen McCaig. McCaig now gives it left footed back to his centre back there, Conor Swan. Swan looks across the line and he sees his centre forward David Hyland, who's playing back as a sweeper almost in defence, protecting that full back line. Gives it to O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue to Cunningham. Cunningham gives it forward now. The McBride's looking with a bit more purpose. O'Donoghue once again out in his own, on the opposition 45, gives it to Cunningham. The big man from Galway sells the dummy rugby style, gives it off, comes back to Conor Corbett. Corbett in, right footed, no mistake, and lovely score again, Nicky.
Excellent score again by Corbett. I mean, we seem to be repeating ourselves here, but he's having a fine game at midfield.
Yeah, he's ruling the roost around the middle of the field, there's no doubt.
They're very big up the middle there. You have Cunningham and you have Corbett in midfield.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Jack Flynn.
And Jack Flynn as well. Sorry, your buddy Jack.
Yeah.
The Mead man. They're a big team, the McBrides.
Big team is right, as the Pearses at the moment struggling to contain them. And when the McBrides get that ball into their forward line fast, they look really dangerous and really potent, as Kieran O'Mahony tries to get something going for the Pearses. The ball sprayed out here to Colm Riley, left footed, in it goes, and it's straight over the bar by the Leitrim man. And barely raises a cheer though, because they find themselves in a huge hole here. 2 goals and 8 points, 14 points to 6, and 8 point deficit.
We haven't given Paul O'Reilly a shout out yet. Paul O'Reilly,
yeah, from the embassy.
The embassy there. I haven't heard from Boss in a while.
Yeah, I was talking to him when the brother was out there, and we meant to get down to him, but we didn't. But big shout out to Paul and all the staff down there in the embassy. Great bar on Taylor Street if you're around the West Loop anytime. Get over there to Paul and all the staff, they'll take care of you. Great pub to go into, great for sports, any rugby games or any GA games, soccer games, whatever it is. Paul is a great sportsman and a great welcome on the mat, as they say. Anytime you cross the threshold, you'll always have a fun time down there. As the Pearses come forward now once again, Kieran O'Mahony out there on the far side gives it off to O'Bugly, right footed, but once again it goes in and it goes short, and Paul Higgins grabs it at the second attempt. And that not for the first time, Nicky, a ball into the goalkeeper's hands by the Pearses.
That is terrible, because it just puts momentum back with the McBrides. And easy into the goalkeeper. You got to at least kick it wide into the goalkeepers.
Yeah, it just hands
just
momentum
turns it
back.
over.
As Dean Robertson goes forward at pace again, the flying cornerback gives it off to Conor Corbett, the man from Cork, who's having an absolute stormer out there so far. Gives it back to Robertson. Robertson now, left-footed, solos, decides to go across to Jack Flynn. Flynn comes from deep, looks to go again, back to Robertson. Robertson has a pop, but there's a reason, Dean, that you're a cornerback, and that's exactly why.
He might be a flying cornerback, but he ain't a flying kicker.
He certainly isn't a flying kicker, is right. but fair play to him for having a crack at it anyways, as the Pierces take the quick kick out, and they look to build once again from their defence as Brian Murphy comes forward with it. Murphy now gives it off to Wallace. Wallace now encouraged to switch direction of the play, but that ball is straight down the throat of Dean Robertson, and meat and drink to the corner back, but unfortunately for him that pass was misplaced and it goes out over the near sideline. Couldn't find its way to the Galway man, Paulie Cunningham, who's having a fine game, Nicky.
Absolutely, he's a big man and he's winning a lot of ball, but I think Dean Robinson needs to straighten the old foot.
Yeah, Killian Frawley once again, not for the first time, taking the ball up this side of the field. Gives it off there to his cornerback DJ Early foraging forward into the attack, gets the ball back from O'Mahony, and the Pierces look for a score once again, and that one is kicked in and kicked over the bar by Kieran O'Mahony, the number 10. Good score for the Pierces as they try and drag themselves back into this contest. 2 goals and 8 points, 14 points to 7 points. 7 points the difference, double scores. Kick out taken. DJ Early once again flies through the air, gets possession of the ball, gives it off there to Frawley, the midfielder. Cuts across the middle of the field, gives it off to a centre forward there, and Orden Toll comes forward, looks for goal. Great block there by the full back, and indeed the centre forward who's back there as sweeper, and it's going to be a 50. And great block down there, Nicky, because it looked as if
it looked like it was sailing into the back of the net in the corner.
Petey McDade, I think it was, that was through on goal, but it was blocked down by the defence and out for a 50. And it's going to be Cahill O'Bugly, the number 7, with this kick from the 45, decides to go backwards to Eamon Wallace, and the Pierces now decide to build from deep rather than going for a point from the 50. As over there on the far side of the field, Killian Frawley on his right foot, he makes absolutely no mistake, and all of a sudden it's back to a 6-point game, Nicky.
They're hanging in there, so they're getting 1 or 2 points, but the McBride seem to be the better team, but still they haven't put them away yet. I know it is early it's late in the first half, but
Owen McCaig out there on that far side of the field, a lovely kick out taken there by Paul Higgins, absolutely inch perfect there, and that ball is down along the far sideline, but it's going to be picked up there. Oh, it's a mistake by the Pierces boys, and it hands possession to the McBrides, and here they go with Ryan O'Donoghue now looks for a free as the Pierces defence scream at the referee, but they manage to turn the ball over, and Ryan O'Donoghue almost through on goal there, but the Pierces lads turn them over, and they stream forward now up the middle of the field. They go with Brian Murphy. Murphy now gives it across to Frawley. Frawley's been really good in this opening half for the Pierces, but on this occasion, just as I mentioned it, the kick goes in and it goes about 30 yards wide, and that's a poor wide from the Pierces as the referee blows the half-time whistle, and it's a bit of a mountain to climb, Nicky, at half time for the Pierces. 2 great goals by the McBrides sees them 6 points down at half time.
Absolutely, but as I said earlier, there's 2 goals in it, but goals win matches, right? So
yeah,
the Pierces, in fairness to them, they're hanging in there and they scored a few, but a lot of wides by both teams. I mean, there's more balls sent about 20 yards wide that I've ever seen out here, so they need to straighten the boots in the second half. Especially, it's a beautiful evening here. It's not too hot. Great evening for football. So I think a lot of these boys might have jet lag or something. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah, the shooting boots certainly aren't on from either side. Especially the Pierces. They've kicked some very poor wides, and they've kicked a few into the goalkeeper's arms as well, which we identified as being a massive momentum killer, and they need to certainly evaluate that at half time and try and get the shooting boots back on, because they're 6 points down, and they're a little bit fortunate because there was a couple of chances there for the McBrides when they were through on goal. They could easily have conceded another goal or two, so they need to get their shooting boots on, and quickly, you feel, in this early in the second half.
Absolutely, they can't let the game get away from them in the first few minutes. They need to tag on a point or two to keep in the game, because if the McBride score 2 or 3 points, then they'll move away from them. They should be able to close them out. But
yeah, so on that note, we'll take a quick break here, at half time in this second senior championship match from Gaelic Park here in Chicago. It's the Pádraig Pearses 8 points, the McBrides 2 goals and 8 points. A 6-point lead at half time for the McBrides. So we'll be back. Join us shortly, folks, for the second half of what surely will be a very entertaining second senior championship match. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. So you're welcome back, folks, once again to the second half here in Gaelic Park in Chicago as we await the return of the McBride's team. The Pierce's lads are already out, and the Pierce's boys are facing a deficit at half time of 2 goals. 6 points. It's 2 goals and 8 points to 8 points after a very entertaining first half of football. And one of the standout players for the Pierces in that first half, of course, was their halfback, their number 5, Eamon Wallace. And I'm delighted to be joined here by his cousin Tom Gannon, who's in from Ratoath in County Meath. We gave a big shout out to Jack Flynn and his family, and Tom came up to us and he said, "Jez, we have to balance the scales here in Ratoath, because I didn't realise that Eamon Wallace is from Ratoath, and so is Tom here beside me." So a big shout out to Mom Linda, Dad Thomas, Auntie Mary, and Uncle Declan as well, all listening back there in Ratoath in County Meath. Tom, it's great to have you here in the commentary box. You just told us that you arrived in from New York a few days ago, so you had a good time in Manhattan.
We did. We had a great time in New York. Yeah, we done all the 9/11 and all the skyscrapers and everything, so it was fantastic. You know.
Was it your first time in New York?
First time in New York and first time in Chicago as well. So we're having a great time. You know?
Good stuff.
You never mentioned the pub at all, huh? You didn't know that?
No, we were in the Mean Fiddler, and then in Chicago as well. We've been frequenting the Terryman as well. So that's been
Lanigan's pub tonight, if there's any.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Nicky manages Lanigan's Irish Tavern down on the south side of Chicago, one of the most famous south side Irish bars, if not the most famous. So you'll have to try and
we'll have to pop in. So
have to pop in, Tom, and give us an old visit and maybe an old bear of a song. So once again, a big shout out to all the Wallaces back in Ratoath and all the Gannons back there as well. Yeah. Thomas, lovely to meet you. You're welcome to Chicago, and I wish you a safe flight home on Monday.
Thanks very much, lads.
We'll have a call one later, all right?
Yeah.
Good man, Tom. Great to see that. Actually, it's lovely to have people coming up and visiting that's in from Ireland, and lovely to hear that once again people are watching in from home. So a big shout out once again to the Wallaces and the Gannons and everyone there back in Ratoath, and hope you're enjoying the old bit of commentary and the old bit of crack. Tom Mack just texted me there. He's going playing golf in Trump International tomorrow down in Doonbeg, and we wish you the best, Tamáisín. Hope you hit them long and straight. And of course, the last time myself and Tom Mack was back there, he was telling me that he was working on Shanahan's Farm, Nicky. It was just up the coast from Doonbeg Golf Course, or Trump Golf Course as it is now. And when we stood up on the 13 tee box, I think Shanahan's Farm was just across the fields from us. And the Jesus, the cows and the sheep started bleating and looing and roaring and shouting. And I said, Jesus Christ, Tom Mack, after all these years, they still recognise you.
The sheep were running from them, I'd say, were they?
The sheep were running and the cows were looing. So back there on Shanahan's, Mrs. Shanahan's cows, fair play to Mrs. Shanahan. I don't know if she's still with us or not, but fair play, you trained Tom Mack well. He never forgot his youth and where he came from, that's for sure. As the Pierces go in search of more scores here in this second half, but the McBrides break down that attempted attack, and it comes to Pádraig Cunningham out here in the middle of the field. He gives it in long to Ryan O'Donoghue, but the ball bounces high and over his head, and it goes in favour of the full back for the Pierces, DJ Early. The DJ with the moustache and the long flowing locks, the number 3, gets possession of it and comes out with it, looks across, sees his goalkeeper, Jack McCallan, and Jack takes possession of it and gives it off there to Dara McElhinney. Dara now over there on the far side of the field, streaking down, takes on Cathal O'Connor. Cathal and himself gets it tangled up. Cathal goes to ground but gets back on his feet and gets the tackles in. The Pierces hold on to possession though, and number 15 there, Oisin Martin, kicks it in, but it's more of the same, Nicky. In the first half they kicked poor wides and another poor wide there.
That's definitely a momentum killer. You need to score the first or 2 or 3 points to try and get back into the game. That was it. That was not good for the Pierces. Not
good is right, as the ball is kicked out quickly by Paul Higgins once again. Connor Swan shows well for it in the middle of the field, gets the ball to Jack Flynn from Ratoath. Great presence here from the village of Ratoath this evening here in Gaelic Park in Chicago. 2 men directly from the same village on different sides of the coin. Jack Flynn for the McBrides and Eamon Wallace for the Pierces, as the McBrides come forward once again, as the McBrides look to unlock that Pearse's defence once more. Pádraig Cunningham, the number 7 out there on the far side of the field, gets it onto his left side, takes on Eamon Wallace, gets past him, but Eamon sticks to him like a knife to butter. But the ball is kicked in there by Cunningham, and another great score by the ex-Galway Rovers man.
Absolutely. We could do him on the bench maybe next week against Donegal. He'd be a great addition.
He might, yeah. I remember years and years ago, Cork, the name of the player eludes me now for the second, but they used to fly him in from San Fran, I think, for the All-Ireland finals. Big full forward. They might be doing the same with Pádraig Cunningham.
It was allowed, I'd say they might, yeah.
Yeah, but Conor Swan now calms things down. And the McBrides with Dean Robertson, this flying cornerback with the yellow boots, gets possession of it, bounces it a couple of times, looks across the field and sees Conor Corbett right beside him. Conor gives the ball long, up along the sideline it goes to Luke O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue gives it in to the other O'Donoghue, Ryan O'Donoghue from Mayo, right-footed, challenged at the same time, but it makes no difference. Score. That's a great score from the Mayo man. Beautiful score, Nicky.
Absolutely excellent score. I think if you're talking hurling, I think it was the great Martin O'Doherty, but the full-back for Cork, but you might...
Yeah,
you're talking football.
And I just, the name eludes me now. Maybe somebody might text me in. And
O'Neill, was it?
No, it wasn't O'Neill, I don't think. Back in the late 80s and maybe early 90s, late 80s I'd say. It was the fashion, of course, that time back in the 80s to fly in footballers from the US. It happened in a couple of counties. And I remember this Cork lad used to be flown in for All-Ireland finals and used to get a game full forward, I think. But... of course, that's long in the past now, no longer the case. They're going in the other direction. And as the Pearses here goes in, and that one is kicked in and over the bar by Oran Toll. Lovely score off his left foot.
Excellent score there by Owen.
Yeah, a lovely score.
They're still hanging in there. Now that's bugging me, Quinn, who that is.
2 goals and 10 points to 9 points. As James Rabbit would say, you'll have to ask James Google. Yeah, you'll have to Google it.
There was a man from Cork that won 2 All-Irelands, used to fly in from Colorado for the Cullens back in the day. He won 2 All-Irelands.
Yeah.
Football for Cork, I don't think it was him either.
Great catch around the middle of the field. Great catch in the middle of the field by Eamon Wallace. I'm sure Mom Linda and Dad Thomas will be proud of that catch as that ball is kicked in, and a great score there by the Pearses. Great catch in the middle of the field and nicely worked score there, and it gets them back again to a 6-point game. 2 goals and 10 points to 10 points in favour of the McBrides, the men in the white jerseys, defending the goals to our left and playing in ideal conditions here in Oak Forest in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. Beautiful playing conditions, a bit like an evening at home, a nice summer's evening with a little bit of a breeze as both teams now really push and want to get a result here as Biogley goes through and that ball is kicked wide, Martin Delaney says, and again a poor wide there by Cathal Biogley as he was only maybe 14 or 15 yards out from the goal, but he was under pressure when he was kicking it, but at the same time probably should have fisted it over. Paul Higgins with the long kick out, but it's going straight down the throat of Oran Toll. Toll gets possession of it, gives it outside to Jack Savage, the Kerry man. We had him up in the boot there a week ago, and Savage is pulled and dragged by Conor Swan and pulled to the ground, and Savage gets a free for himself and imminently kickable free for the Pearses, and this would bring it back to a 5-point game, Nicky, as you do say. They're hanging in there.
They're hanging in by a thread, but they're hanging in. Great score, a great free there for the Pearses, and they are hanging 6 points. Karen Murphy, you have dinner at 6:30, so I think you're running late.
Oh yeah, we have to give a shout out to Mags Murphy. Mags, whose birthday month it is this month. So we were told to tell Karen with the Y that dinner is going to be served at 6:30 sharp, and if you're not there at 6:30, John Quinn and Nicky Glynn is going to fight over the dinner plate. So Karen, make sure you're out there by 6:30 as Conor Corbett goes up and only breaks the ball down though, and it's Killian Frawley getting the ball off there to Jack Savage. Savage gives a sort of a half hospital pass inside, and Dennis O'Callaghan tries to win it back and does. Back to Eamon Wallace. Wallace gets it back to Brian Murphy, and back to Cathal O'Beogley. And O'Beogley's effort goes out to the left and goes wide. Another chance, Nicky, goes a begging.
That's too bad misses by O'Beogley there, and he hasn't really got into the game today like he did the last day.
Yeah.
He's been a bit quiet, he's been
a little bit in and out, yeah. But the kick out there was great pressure on Conor Corbett there in the middle of the field by the Pearses lads, and they turned the ball over as Michael Malloy now strides up that far side of the field and decides to go back. And the McBrides showing patience here in possession as they look to build from the back, and Pádraig Cunningham takes possession of that ball, gives it long, but it's misplaced and it's too long. And the McBrides attack seems to have gone a bit stale, Nicky. The final pass into the likes of Ryan O'Donoghue isn't working out.
Both teams there don't seem too sharp. Maybe because of the 4th of July, maybe they were on the piss all week, I don't know, but it's not as fluent as they were the last day they played here, because the Pearses were very sharp and the McBrides were very sharp the last day. So maybe it's just the old 4th of July.
Who knows, maybe, as the Kerry man Jack Savage take possession of it. Solos across the opposition 45. He gets the pass away there, and that ball is kicked in, and it's kicked over the bar there by Oisin Martin. The number 15 brings it back to a 4-point game now. 2 goals and 10 points is 16 points to 12 points. It's only 4 points now. So
they're not putting them away yet.
They're just not putting them away. It's a bit of squeaky bum time, as they say, as Paul Higgins kicks the ball out long, and Jack Flynn gets in front of his marker. Flynn gets a lovely pass away to the man from Galway, Pádraig Cunningham. Cunningham chased hard now by O'Mahony. Gets a lovely pass, but it's again that final pass just ran away from Ryan O'Donoghue, and Jack McCallan in the Pearses goal came out and collected it right off the toe of Ryan O'Donoghue, as the Pearses now come on the attack looking for yet another point, and Frawley gets it onto that right foot, and now all of a sudden it's only 3 points.
Rising.
Yeah, the temperature is rising here for sure. There were 8 points down at one stage. It's now down to a 3-point margin, and the McBrides all of a sudden look a little bit shaken as Paul Higgins goes long out to Jack Flynn. Jack Flynn running his socks off there around the middle of the field, gets it off there to his centre forward David Hyland. Hyland now playing an awful lot of ball in his own defence, and it's an off the ball challenge there, as David Hyland shipped a very heavy challenge from Killian Frawley, and Killian is going to have a bit of a chat with Martin Delaney, and gets an earful off him, and Martin comes back to have another word with him, and Kieran will be lucky here if he doesn't see a card, because it was a bit cynical, that challenge.
He'll be definitely lucky if he doesn't get a card in that one.
No card is brandished, so he gets away with it, and I think the McBride's man is just winded there. Take a minute or two to get his breath, and in this rip-roaring second half, the McBrides under a bit of pressure here after being comfortable leaders, and the Pearses storm back into it with 4 or 5 unanswered points, and seeing that 8-point margin dwindle to 3 as Conor Corbett, the Cork man, goes long in towards O'Donoghue. This is dangerous. O'Donoghue tried to get the fist to it there and almost connected, but the Pearses goalkeeper Jack McCallan, not for the first time, comes out and claims it and gets the Pearses attack flowing again. Eamon Wallace, the flyer from Ratoath, the racehorse from Ratoath, over there on the far side, gets the ball into Jack Savage, the Kerry man. Savage now, ex-Kerry footballer, this man, full of class and full of scoring ability. Gets the ball away to Dennis O'Callaghan all the way over that far side. Gets it back to Savage. Savage, the outside of the right boot. It goes in, but again, another wasted. Yeah, it was a bit adventurous there. Probably better off working the ball back out the field and working another opportunity in a better spot. But it goes wide. Ross Mahan takes the quick kick out from Paul Higgins. Mahan now crosses his own 45, lays the ball off to Conor Corbett. Corbett now gives the ball long up towards O'Donoghue. This time the ball is perfect for him, bounces into his breadbasket, gives a lovely little pass back to Corbett. Corbett now closely followed there by the number 15, and it's great defending there by Oisin Martin. Wins the ball, turns the ball over for the Pearses, and these turnovers could be pivotal come the end of the game. Here comes Frawley now, this time down this side of the field. Frawley sprinting like a greyhound, taking on Owen McCaig. McCaig tried to stay with him. Frawley gives the ball long, in it goes to the number 10, Kieran O'Mahony. O'Mahony onto that right foot, and the big cheer will tell you that that ball has gone in and it's gone over the bar, and all of a sudden, Nicky, it's back to a 2-point game.
They've been keeping clawing at it now. There's only 2 points. That's an excellent score there by the corner forward. O'Mahony, I think he's another carry man. I think he is.
He could well be. We'll have
One
more
of these
info.
days we'll get some information.
We'll get information on that as the McBrides try to work the ball out of the fence, but it's a free given against the McBride's centre forward there, who's been playing as a sweeper all game, and Martin Delaney decides that he overcarried the ball there. David Hyland, as he tried to get the ball out of the fence, and the man from Leitrim here is going to take this one. Colm O'Reilly. It's about 47 or 8 yards out. Kicks it right footed. It goes high, but it's drifting out to the right, and it goes wide. Again,
That's not like him, actually.
not like him. He's normally fairly accurate from them sort of frees and that sort of distance, but the ball just drifted harmlessly out to the right and wide, and Paul Higgins once again looks to go fast with it, but he's got no runners yet. Has to go long. Out it goes, down on top of Jack Flynn. Jack Flynn and Cathal O'Beogley, and O'Beogley comes up with the ball there. Flynn just couldn't get the right side of him, and the kick favoured the Pearses man, but he done really well. As Oisin Martin now takes the ball across the halfway line, looks across to his right and sees Killian Frawley. Frawley now gets that ball onto the right foot again, and this fella has done an awful lot of damage in the second half.
Another excellent score there. The Pearses are right back in it. They're actually
It's
1
down.
point in the game now. They've really
It's a 1 point game, and the
McBrides
McBrides
have fallen asleep. I
really
think.
need to get possession of this ball. That's a beautiful bit of improvisation there, and here comes Robertson. Robertson flying up the far side of the field now with the yellow boots on him. Takes his time, steadies himself, left footed, in it goes. Oh, and it's short. Oh, a disaster there for Robertson, as he seemed destined to score a point that would bring it out to a 2-point game once again. DJ Early for the Pearses gets possession of the ball, gets it to Frawley, who's been man of the match really in this second half, the number 9 for the Pearses. Gets it on, it goes there to Cathal O'Beogley. O'Beogley coming more and more into this game now around the centre of the field, as Eamon Wallace protests to the referee that ball should be brought forward after it was thrown back by one of the McBride's lads, but Martin Delaney isn't having any of it. Eamon Wallace, the man from Ratoath, the flying number 5, gives it all the way back to Oran Toll. Oran Toll there, the number 11, looks to build from the back for this Pearse's side, who come in search of the equalising score. Cathal O'Beogley, the number 7, pulled and harried, and Michael Malloy somehow grabs the ball off him, and Malloy now sets off up the field. Suddenly there's a bit of room in front of him to run into. Malloy holds on to possession, followed here by Eamon Wallace, challenged by Eamon Wallace. Malloy gets it onto the outside, and that ball is kicked in and kicked over the bar there by the McBrides. Lovely score there, Nicky, by the McBrides, and they needed that one.
That's definitely one they needed. It'll steady the ship now for the McBrides. They're now back to 2 points, isn't it?
Yeah, Luke O'Donoghue was the man there that kicked that one after a wonderful run there by Michael Malloy, and Martin Delaney is going in there to have a word, I think, with Luke O'Donoghue after kicking the tee away. I think Martin is telling him, look, you can't do that. You're on your last warning, and you can't kick the tee like that. So Jack McCallan now with the kick out, 2 goals and 11 points. That's 17 points to 15, 2 points the margin, as we have 16 and a half minutes gone in this second half. That's a wonderful catch almost there, but the Pearses boys turn it over and get their free. Oisin Martin to Killian Frawley, the flying midfielder down this side of the field, the number 9. He'll try and cut back onto that right foot. No, he gives the pass off. It eventually comes out here to the full forward, number 14, and that ball is kicked in and kicked over the bar there by Jack Savage. Savage, the man from Kerry, makes absolutely no mistake, and it brings it back to a 1-point game. 2 goals and 11 points to 16 points. The kick out is taken quickly. Ryan O'Donoghue calls for the mark and he gets it. Out there in the middle of the field, he had to come deep for the ball. Gives the short pass away to Cathal O'Connor. Cathal O'Connor back to Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue now forages up the far side of the field there. Looks for support. Sees Cathal O'Connor stealing in behind the defence. Cathal now tries to get the pass away. Does so. It comes in. Surely it's a goal in the back of the net by Liam O'Donoghue. The number 12, Luke O'Donoghue. A great goal there by the McBrides. Beautiful piece of improvisation. Cathal O'Connor heavily involved. Got the pass away. Shipped a heavy challenge. And the pass came across, and there was Luke O'Donoghue on his own in front of goal and made absolutely no mistake and gave Jack McCallan no chance. Nicky,
excellent score there, and they needed it. Now they're back out to
4 points again.
4 points, so that's a great score. They needed that goal to settle them down.
That was a huge score.
Not that we're biased now or anything, but
no, the Pierces have played excellently in the second half.
We're not like Murphy Morrissey today in the hurling.
No, well, you wouldn't expect any less. A Clare man commented on a Clare hurlers. What do you expect? But the Pierces have played exceptionally well in this second half, and from a desperate position at half time, they've hauled themselves back into this game and got it back to 1 point. But that goal is a sucker punch, but the Pierces certainly won't lie down, as DJ Early back there in his own full back line gives it out to the goalkeeper Jack McCallan. Damon Wallace on it goes there to Oisin Martin has made a big difference since he's come on. The subs have made a big difference to the Pierces. On it goes there to Oran Toll now off to Jack Savage, the Kerry man, gives it off to Frawley now, the right foot let him down this time. It's gone out to the right and out wide. That right foot was like a Rolls Royce. It just wouldn't let you down for the last 15 minutes. It was like clockwork, straight in, straight over the bar as a sub comes on for the Pierces. Number 19, Declan Monaghan is on, and we'll see who's going off here. I think it's O'Biogli. Yeah, Cathal O'Biogli is coming off, the number 7.
It's a bit of a surprise. He was just getting into the game.
He seemed to be getting into it, yeah, as Conor Corbett goes up, but he's hauled to the ground there by two Pierces players, and it's a hefty challenge there on the Cork man, and the referee signalling a free down for the McBrides there after that challenge on Conor Corbett in the middle of the field. Certainly seemed to be caught high, and Ryan O'Donoghue is looking for this ball. It's gone in over DJ's head, and here's O'Donoghue clean through a goal into the back of the net from the man from Balmullet. A brilliant ball in, Nicky, absolutely brilliant ball. Caught out DJ Early, the full back, went in over his head, and in fairness, O'Donoghue finished it professionally.
An excellent score by O'Donoghue. The first time I ever seen him shouting for Mayo man, by the way. That's an excellent point.
But I'm always in favour of great football, and in fairness, that was a wonderful pass into O'Donoghue, and he found space behind DJ Early, and the McBrides come once again with Jack Flynn up this side of the field, pushes his side the would-be marker there, but that ball is excellently cut out by the other Ratoath man, Eamon Wallace has played like a star in this second half. Number 5 strides across the halfway line, has Oisin Martin on his outside, decides to go long into Jack Savage is hauled to the ground, and it's going to be a free down. In fact, it was the number 10, Kieran O'Mahony. I'm sorry, that was foul there, and it's a free down to the Pierces. But at this stage, 4 goals and 11 points. It's 23 points to 16. It's a 7-point margin, Nicky. They need goals.
They absolutely need goals. In fairness, the McBrides, they've held out, and they got that great goal to put them to 7 points ahead.
Yeah, a great response by the McBrides, and 2 goals, you know, when they needed it badly, to push it out once again to a 7-point lead, and really putting the pressure on this Pierce's team now, as Colm O'Reilly with the ball under his right arm, as the umpire there is having a word with Martin Delaney. I think there might have been some incident off the ball, and Martin Delaney is calling one of the in fact, it's one of the Pierce's lads, Jack Savage, is being called over, and he's going to have a word with him, I think. In fact, it mightn't be Jack Savage. He's going in there to a melee of players and having a word with one of the Pierce's lads there. And I think he's given him. It is Jack Savage, in fact, that's being talked to here for some incident off the ball that the umpire's seen. And we'll wait now and see what Martin Delaney decides to give as punishment here to the Kerry man. It could be, if it's a striking offence, Nicky, it could be a straight red.
Absolutely. I didn't see the incident, I have to say.
Neither did I. I didn't. I'm only guessing when the umpire got involved. It must have been serious enough, but it's a yellow card for the Kerry man. And the resultant free will be taken by Colm O'Reilly as Martin Delaney tries to calm down the situation here. And Colm O'Reilly now takes the customary couple of bounces of the ball and steps up with the right foot and kicks it in. Oh Jesus, that's a desperate miss. Oh, that's an awful miss.
As you would say, an outrageous miss.
An outrageous miss is right. Oh Lord Almighty save us. My great grandmother, once removed, would have done better than that, Colm. But anyways, on we go. It remains a 7-point margin in this game, and the Pierces need scores, and they need them fast as we enter the 24th minute of this game. 6 minutes plus injury time left, and Ryan O'Donoghue and I think the two midfielders, Corbett and Flynn, have been huge, Nicky, in this game for the McBrides.
Absolutely, Corbett has been he was outstanding in the first half, not as good in the second. And Ryan O'Donoghue, in fairness, has been brilliant, and of course your buddy Jack Flynn has stood out as well.
He has indeed. He's played extremely well. Out the ball comes. It's dropped there, but Oisin Martin will be there for the Pierces to pick up the pieces. Challenged hard there by Conor Swan, but Martin gets away from him. Gets the pass away to Savage. Savage now onto that right foot and in, and it's over the bar. Good score from Savage. But
back to 6 points.
Back to 6, but you feel they'll need more.
Well, there's about 4 minutes, 6 minutes left, so they do need a goal.
They need a goal, yeah, you'd feel. But they are certainly winning their fair share of the McBride's kickouts around the middle of the field there. And the last few minutes, they've won 2 or 3. So the referee is calling back to play here.
What's the lane at now?
I think there was a player down in his hunkers over there, and there's a sub coming in for the McBrides as Conor Corbett, the Cork man, is going off, and he's being replaced there by number 20. Dara Dempsey for the McBrides. Dara Dempsey is in around the middle of the field, and straight away the ball is kicked down on top of Jack Flynn. Flynn is pushed in the back there and by Declan Monaghan, and it's a free down to the man from Meath who's feeling the effects of a couple of those challenges. Jack Flynn goes back to his centre back David Hyland onto Robertson, the flying cornerback, gives it over there to Cathal O'Connor, great footballer for the McBrides down through the years, showed his experience there today in assisting in that third goal for the McBrides. Back to Hyland in an advanced position up towards his full forward line, and the ball is kicked in and kicked across the face of goal, and it goes out. Tommy Dolan signals it wide by Owen McCaig, the number 4 over there. Didn't find the target. So 23 points to 17. It's a 6-point difference at this stage, as we have about 3 minutes plus injury time left. But that's a poor pass there, a tired pass there by the Pierce's wing forward, and it goes straight to a McBride's man. And Pádraig Cunningham now around the middle of the field as players from both teams begin to go down on their hunkers, and cramp is beginning to set in. It's been a fast moving game with an awful lot of running in it, and players are really beginning to feel the effects of it. Dean Robertson over there on that far sideline, the Pierce's lads allowing them space, allowing them to hold on to the ball, as David Hyland, not for the first time, bursts forward and deemed to have overcarried the ball, and it's a free down to the Pierces as the The Pierces then throw one last dice as Eamon Wallace is pulled and dragged there, but manages to get the free away quickly to Killian Frawley. Frawley now down to Jack Savage. Savage, can he muster a bit of magic out of the Kerry locker? Gets it onto the right foot, dummies Michael Malloy back onto the left, and he kicks it in, and it's a nice score there from the Kerry man, Mickey.
Excellent score there, left footed over the bar, but I think they might need a goal here.
Yeah, it's back to 5 points again. 4 goals and 11 is 23. 18 for the Pierces, 5 points the margin.
3 minutes.
3 minutes left. So, Paul Higgins, you feel if the McBrides could get another point on the board, that would sort of put it beyond the Pierces, but again, you can never write them in green off.
That's for sure.
They're as tough as teak tough, as they say, as I think Joe Gardner is coming on the McBride's team, another man that played in the intermediate game, coming on there for I think McCaig has gone off to number 4. That ball breaks down to Eamon Wallace in the middle of the field, gives it to Killian Frawley, wants to, not for the first time, getting involved, gets the ball up there, and the Pierce is now looking for a goal. Surely Kieran O'Mahony gets the ball across there to Jack Savage. Savage back, it goes to Eamon Wallace, and the number 5 from Ratoath swings it with the right foot in and over the bar. A lovely score from the number 5. He's ushering his excellent score indeed, and he's ushering his teammates on, trying to get them to push up, not to allow McBride to take a short kick out. And any time the ball has gone long, the last 4 or 5 times, the Pierces have won the breaking ball around the middle of the field. So they're really anxious to make Paul Higgins go long. Out it comes to DJ Early, and DJ tries to get possession of it, but it's punched away there by Conor Swan. But the Pierces, boys, there's enough of them there to mop it up, and Oisin Martin gets it back to McCallan, the goalkeeper. On to Frawley now, number 9, faced by Michael Malloy. Malloy tries to stand him up but doesn't succeed. Frawley goes forward, gets the ball back to Jack Savage. Savage, nice low pass across, it goes to Dara McElhenney, the number 2. He gets it back to Early. Early goes back to Oran Toll. Toll back. It comes to Declan Monaghan, and Monaghan off his left foot makes no mistake, and it's in and it's over the bar, and it's 20 points now to 23. It's back to a 3-point game, Nicky.
They're like a bad rash, the Pierces, that just won't go away, and fair play, they're hanging in there.
They're as tough as nails, absolutely. You can never write them off. Psychologically, they're very tough, and a sign of all good teams. They just won't give up. As Paul Higgins goes long once again, down on top of Jack Flynn, but once again the Pierces win the breaking ball, and Oisin Martin gets it onto that Colm O'Reilly. O'Reilly from Leitrim out to Savage. Savage onto the right foot, and it's gone in, and it's gone over the bar. After a long deliberation between the umpires, the white flag goes up, and it's back to a 2-point game now.
It looked like it went wide, but then again,
it was very close to this left hand upright, all right, but the umpires had a long look at it and decided it was over the bar.
A minute to go.
2
points in it.
2 points the margin, as Paul Higgins is told by Martin Delaney to get on with it, and Paul coming out with the peak cap on him. He'll want to find a man in white here, and he'll have no choice but to go along. Out it goes, and once again the Pierces win the ball uncontested in the middle of the field. Savage now back to Frawley. Frawley onto the left foot. Has it the legs? No, it doesn't. Into the hands of the goalkeeper once again, but that ball does not find a McBride's man. It comes to the Pierces once again, and it's out to O'Mahony. Kicks it in. Oh, it almost found its way in over the head of Paul Higgins, but the ball finds its way back out to Jack Savage, and at the second attempt Savage makes no mistake and kicks it in and kicks it over the bar, and we have a 1-point game as we enter injury time here in this nail-biting second senior championship match here in Gaelic Park in Chicago. A frenetic finish here as a large crowd of spectators are treated to a really wonderful second half of football from both teams. Pierces looked dead and buried at half time, but they came back into it through sheer grit and determination, a bit like Clare and Croke Park today, where they were out of it at half time, but they've fought their way back into it. So did the Pierces here back in Gaelic Park in Chicago. But the McBrides find possession of the ball. Cathal O'Connor over there on the far side of the field, gets it back to his full back Ross Mahan. Mahan now, the press is on though by the Pearces. Michael Malloy back in his own full back line, takes possession, gives it to Cathal O'Connor. O'Connor now pops the pass across, but the man is caught in possession and he's hauled to the ground, and the referee Martin Delaney said no. Pushing the back there on the McBride's man, and it's a free down to the McBride's as the ball is kicked right down the central channel, and it goes to the McBride's man, Jack Flynn. Flynn faces up, looks up, and he only sees one man in the attack. That's Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue now comes out looking for the ball, takes possession of it, slows it down, jinks and turns, tries to get past DJ Early, can't do so, gives it back to the substitute, who is Darren Dempsey. Dempsey finds Pádraig Cunningham from Galway, gives a lovely pass out into space over to Cathal O'Connor. O'Connor now jinks inside, gives it to Hyland back to Ryan O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue goes long, ball is pumped in there as across comes the Pearce's man and gets a fist to it, and it's out over the sideline, and it's a line ball to the McBrides. It almost was intercepted there by Declan Monaghan, but eventually it's fallen for Luke O'Donoghue over there on that far sideline, and it's going to be a line ball into the McBrides, and this could be a crucial one as Ryan O'Donoghue goes over there, the number 13, as we're deep into injury time, in the second minute of injury time here. There can't be much more time left. It's a 1 point game, 23 points to plays 22 as Ryan O'Donoghue, the man from Belmullet, with this ball kicks it in high, and it's a fantastic score, Nicky. Wonderful kick from the far side.
I'd say you were wearing my old jersey, but the night is out.
Well, in fairness,
that's an excellent score.
Not for the first time. I appreciate good football, and I'll tell you one thing, that was a fantastic score, and the Pearces now is fighting hard for possession. Man-haul down there by Cathal O'Connor, and it's a free down to the Pearces. Eamon Wallace gets on with it, encouraging his men to go forward. The goalkeeper, the whole shebang is thrown forward. DJ Early, the full back, as there's a bit of fisticuffs here off the ball as Jack Savage and Pádraig Cunningham goes to battle here, and the ball is kicked in, and a goal attempt surely, and it comes out, and there's a major bit of acting going on. There'll be repercussions here, I'd say, because there was boxes thrown there as the Pearces come looking for that winning goal. The ball is fisted across, and it's broken up there. The McBrides get it. No, they don't. They get it again. The Pearces, it's in the back of the net. Incredible goal. Virtually the last kick of the game, and the McBrides shell-shocked there, and it's a goal for the Pearces. Almost the last kick of the game, and the referee calls time. And unbelievable scenes here in Gaelic Park in Chicago as the Pearces absolutely at the death get victory out of the jaws of defeat. It was an incredible finish to a game, and it was unbelievable, Nicky, really. They were down by 8 points and came back and won it by a point.
Unbelievable. The last seconds of the game, excellent score. It's unbelievable that the whole crowd are in shock here. That's great comeback. You got goals wins matches, right? But
goals wins matches.
And Savage wasn't even in there. Savage was out here and doing a bit of tussling.
He was doing a bit of...
He wasn't even in the... I don't know who scored. There was a...
I lost touch with it myself in the finish, but whoever finished it was a great shot into the roof of the net. It was just hit and hope at that stage, but it was a great finish, and what a game of football. I mean, what entertainment there. Incredible scenes at the end of the game, and the Pearce is dead and buried at half time, but they somehow managed to come back and as I said, grab victory out of the jaws of defeat there. So 1 point win for the Pearces, a goal and 22 points. That's 25 points to 4 goals and 12, which is 24. So 24 to 25. Wonderful finish to a wonderful day, Nicky, here. 2 great senior championship matches. The Tones coming out victorious in the first one and the Pearces in the second one. So it sets up a grandstand second half to this championship season.
Absolutely, a great win for the Pearces. You have to give them the ultimate credit, because they just never know when they're beaten, and it's unbelievable.
Absolutely, that's for sure. And not too many teams can fight a deficit like that and bring it back and pull a game out of the fire like that. So great finish and a great day, very entertaining, and I think we'll sign off at that, Nicky, We'll thank everybody for watching at home, and hope you enjoyed the coverage. Hope you enjoyed the games and the commentary. And tune in again next week when I believe Nicky and Conor Calvey will be here. Myself and Mary and the Chicago boys are travelling home on Monday to Dublin for the Junior All-Ireland competition next weekend in Abbottstown, and hopefully then on to Croke Park, and we hope to see at least some of you there. Hopefully make the journey to Abbottstown and support these lads. So they certainly deserve it, because they're a great bunch of fellas, and hopefully it'll be a great weekend's football with 2 fantastic semi-finals coming up, and best of luck to all teams next weekend in Dublin. Hopefully we'll see 2 great games in the semi-finals, and hopefully we'll see some great junior games as well.
Absolutely. Enjoy your trip, guys, and shout out there to Aaron again, the timekeeper, and Mary. Another fine performance by Mary there. But see you next time.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your flight.
Thank you, Nicky, and thanks again to Aaron, and thanks to Mary for all the help and the coverage and the camera work and everything else. And I think we'll go and enjoy a couple of cold ones now, Nicholas.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. It's goodbye from Gaelic Park in Chicago. Until the next time. Safe home tonight. Enjoy your couple of pints if you're having them, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you.